明確指出，香港法律必須要尊重同埋保障香港嘅同性伴侶，而判決並不會對任何人構成損害。佢其實係標誌住香港社會為平等嘅愛同埋一個更和諧嘅社會邁進咗一大步。So now we will talk in the English version. I'm Esther from Hong Kong Marriage Equality. Today, the Court of the Final Appeal made a landmark decision regarding the legal status of same-sex partnership in Hong Kong. It is a significant victory which makes clear that Hong Kong law must afford due respect and protection to same-sex couples. This will help families while hurting no one. Also, it makes another important step toward equal love and more harmonious society for all. 我跟住落嚟會將時間交翻俾我哋另一對 couples Travis 去講翻實一對 local couples 點樣睇今次嘅判決嘅。
咁首先都好高興啦，今日聽到個消息啦。我自己本身係一個土生土長嘅香港人，咁我本身同我嘅伴侶一齊都已經7年㗎啦。其實之前都可能會係有諗過係話，其實我哋嘅將來會點樣咧？咁直至到今日個裁決出咗嚟嘅時候，我哋會有一刻開始好認真地諗啊，其實原來我哋可以長遠地留喺香港㗎喎。留喺香港對於我哋同性嘅關係喺未來嗰條路嚟講，可能會係有更進一步嘅有啲嘅保障啊，同埋受到更加多嘅尊重咁樣咯。咁所以呢樣嘢係絕對係值得開心或者係鼓舞嘅一日。Thank you。
冇人問
咩 Q&A 最後未 Q&A。
Please ask you to give me some leeway because I only just received the judgment. It's more than 100 pages long. I think the first thing to say is that this is a significant judgment. It will have serious and long-term impacts on the recognition and treatment of same-sex couples here in Hong Kong and those who are coming from abroad. It may be a very difficult judgment to understand, but at its heart what has happened is the court has said that the government, by failing to provide a status similar to but not mirroring marriage, means that the government has breached the law. But the government is given 2 years to rectify this before the court will say that they are in breach of the law. Now, it's important to understand that this is not the court saying that there should be full marriage equivalent to what's available for heterosexual couples. But what the court is saying is that the government has 2 years to think about an appropriate status that will give, in substance, the correct protection owed to families of same-sex couples. Now, how did the court achieve this? The court achieved this by recognizing that all people have a private sphere. They have the right to have family, they have the right to have relationships with other people. This relationship in heterosexual couples is largely protected by marriage. But same-sex couples, because of the law in Hong Kong, are not entitled to get marriage. But their relationships, their families still need protection. The court is saying there should be something similar to, but not the same as marriage, that provides them with a status that will give them protection. In doing so, the court is giving the government a wide margin of discretion. The government will have to think about how this should be affected, whether it should be exactly the same as marriage or there should be exceptions where a deviation from equal treatment is justified. Now, I think you may ask, what is the relationship between this judgment and all of the judgments we've had for the last few years, following from the QT decision and the Leung Chun-Kwong decision from 2015? The difference is that before, every time there was an inequality, a discrimination, an individual couple would have to come forward and go to the court and ask for equal treatment. And every time the government would have the opportunity to provide some justification. So far, the government has not been able to provide any justification for unequal treatment. Instead of this piece-by-piece approach, the court is now saying not only in substance should there be equal treatment, but there should also be a status that will allow, generally speaking, for couples to receive equal treatment in relation to what the court called core rights. Now, you may also ask, what's the purpose of this 2 years and what the parties will do now? The court has given both the government and the appellant 3 weeks to make submissions on the specific declaration and the remedy that the court should give. This is an opportunity for both of the parties to consider this distinction of core rights which should be included. We hope that during that time the government and the appellant will review the judgment and think hard and long about what are core rights. I'll wait to answer questions after my colleagues have spoken.
跟住大家頭先講得咁快，我就可能會講得好耐啊，始終都係一個教授咁。咁首先就多謝咁多位媒體去出席今日嘅呢一個俾我哋去講一講呢一個案件其實係有啲咩意義啦。咁我首先介紹一下自己啦，我係孫耀東啦，我係性別研究課程香港中文大學性別研究課程嘅副教授嚟嘅。咁我喺中大亦都成立咗一個叫做性小眾研究計劃啦。咁所以其實我頭先啱啱就喺度諗緊，我都喺過去嗰15年裏邊咧，就喺無論英國啦，喺我翻嚟香港之前啦，同埋翻咗嚟香港都有11年嘅時間，咁去做咗好多關於喺香港性小眾嘅研究啦，亦都包括好多喺香港類似呢一類喺本地冇承認同性關係嘅地方，佢哋裏邊會遇到啲咩問題咧？所以我今日會形容今日呢一個判決咧係一個對於無論香港啦，又或者亞洲嘅LGBT 平權咧，都係一個好重要嘅一步嚟嘅。咁我首先就有第一樣嘢想講就係都要講翻有一個失望咧，就係始終咧嗰個法院咧都係冇承認到同性婚姻嘅。咁呢一樣嘢嘅意思咧就係話，其實婚姻始終係作為一個社會上面嘅制度咧，依然係一個好重要嘅，無論係喺嗰個象徵意義上面啦，又或者喺實質上面咧，其實都為社會上面嘅伴侶去提供好多嘅一啲重要嘅為佢哋提供好多好重要嘅，無論係呢一個象徵性啦，又或者實質嘅一啲影響嘅。咁但係咧，我亦都會覺得今日政府今日呢個法院咧去判決政府應該需要為同性伴侶嘅關係承認咧有一個替代框架咧，其實係一樣好重要嘅一樣嘢嚟嘅。因為根據我哋以往唔同嘅研究咧，都發現當同性伴侶冇得到社會上面嘅法律承認嗰陣咧，其實會面對好多嘅問題嘅。咁正如以往嘅一啲另外嘅司法覆核嘅案件咧，其實都已經揭示得到，無論係話喺嗰個伴侶能唔能夠帶到個伴侶嚟香港啦，又或者喺一啲譬如一齊去報稅啊，呢一啲咁實質，可能係一啲異性伴侶會覺得係一個好理所當然去做得到嘅嘢咧。但係對於同性伴侶嚟講咧，呢一啲權利都係一個好大嘅問題嚟嘅。其實平機會之前咧有一個研究咧係講話，其實同性伴侶同埋異性伴侶咧喺社會上面係有大概超過100個法律嘅領域裏邊咧係有遭受到不同嘅對待。咁今日咧香港政府香港嘅法院咧，終於係一個咁明確地講得到，應該要有一個替代框架去為同性伴侶嘅法律承認咧，去有呢一步去邁出。咁但係正如頭先律師都有講咧，當中其實依然嗰個替代框架嘅內容係啲咩咧？又或者當中乜嘢叫做一啲核心嘅權利咧？呢啲依然都係好唔清楚。咁我估陣間大家都可能會再問得到啦。咁但係我仲有2點想去講嘅咧，就係話咁大家就會可能諗得到咁而家呢件事喺香港社會裏邊發生會係一件咩嘅一件事咧？咁我會有2點想去講咧。第一個咧就係其實呢一件事喺香港去發生咧，其實同香港社會整體上面對 LGBT 嘅睇法咧，其實係一致嘅。因為咧過去嗰10年咧，我哋曾經我同港大啦，同埋University of North Carolina Chapel Hill， 即係美國嘅北卡羅來納 立大學啦，即係一個中大、港大同埋UNC Chapel Hill 嘅合作咧，我哋曾經做過3次喺香港嘅具代表性嘅電話抽樣調查啦，每一次都係超過1000人嘅。其實見得到香港市民咧對於 LGBT 權利嘅支持度咧係越嚟越上升嘅。以支唔支持同性婚姻為例啦，我哋喺2013年啦、2017年啦同埋2023年咧都係用同一條嘅問題去問過香港市民支唔支持同性婚姻啦。2013年咧嗰個支持嘅百分比咧係38%啦。2017年咧去到50%，而去到2023年咧嗰個數字係去到60%嘅，所以其實都係一個好短嘅時間，講緊10年裏邊有個22%嘅百分點嘅呢一個嘅升幅咧，其實係就住唔同嘅議題嚟講都係好高嘅一個升幅嚟嘅。而其實呢一個講緊香港裏邊有60%嘅市民去支持同性婚姻咧，如果我哋比較喺亞洲嚟講咧，其實喺亞洲唔同嘅地區，如果講話有民調嚟計咧，其實香港同台灣咧係2個最高嘅司法管轄區，係就住市民對同性婚姻有個咁高嘅支持度嘅。咁另外一個好快想講嘅就係話，其實我覺得喺香港嘅呢個發展咧，亦都